guys, this is the second part of the Season 41 preseason podcast where the panel and I draft our teams for the 18 castaways and give our thoughts on each castaway one by one as we draft them on the board. If you haven't listened to the first part where we talk about our reactions to the format changes and the overall takeaways of Season 41 in the preseason, you can check that out in our previous podcast. But if you're here for the draft, you're on the right podcast. So without any further ado, here's the draft. We actually have a draft prepared.
What?
A draft board prepared.
What?
For the six of crazy.
What?
I know.
I wasn't prepared for this.
We all took a little look-see at the 18 people competing on Survivor 41, and we will be going down the list. Well, as we draft people, maybe I should explain. There are 6 of us in this draft, so we will be drafting 3 people each, and as we are drafting each person, we are going to give our thoughts on that person that is drafted, how we think they're going to play, if it's a good pick or a bad pick, and I guess just our expectations and hopes for them in the season. So, the draft order, I made it as fair as possible so that...
Based on dick size, right?
No.
Bullshit. Oh, wait.
Yeah, it's going smallest to biggest.
Yeah, smallest to biggest.
No.
So the
Biggest to
draft...
smallest.
So the draft, as it stands, it's as fair as I could make it. And for the first round, the order is going to be Landslide, then Tim, myself, Sinuar, Kid, then JP. So I guess there's no other reason. I guess there's no reason to keep delaying the draft. Landslide. That means you are on the clock. You are on the proverbial clock. We're not going to time you.
Great, I'm taking 10 minutes. Really got to think this one out.
You want to trade up?
I'll edit it out.
I would trade up next year.
I'm gonna trade up.
Trades? This ain't the NFL.
Hold on, Landslide, I want a 30-minute dissertation on what the hourglass meant in the...
I will give you
Stop!
my thoughts about
Don't-
every single player.
I thought it was cool.
I know. Chris, we all know you're a casual. It's okay.
Sounds like they got props from like board games and then just threw them on the ground.
Yeah, they're like, just throw some random shit from Barnes & Noble on the ground and call it a day.
Oh
my God, we got-
You could just see the Monopoly man in the background somewhere.
We got 3 army guys from Risk. What does this mean?
Guys, I'm just serious. I just want...
I'm so fucking wasted right now. I finished a whole bottle of Crown.
Oh my God.
I'm on my Smirnoff Ice.
Pick Evie first.
Welcome to the podcast, everybody.
Someone pick Evie. I don't want to have her last pick.
Can you tell guys that we love Evie on this podcast?
I unironically
Fucking
love
sucks.
Evie, too.
What?
I
He's
think
a
she's that
queen,
bad.
and you're all
By all
being
means.
those.
All right, I'm gonna let I'm gonna let you finish, Landslide. But first, Evie is the greatest
Wait.
player on this.
Wait a
board.
minute.
Oh,
This isn't
God.
a snake draft? Hold up.
No.
Yeah, why is it?
Why
like
is this
Chris?
why is this like this? Hold
Okay.
up. I only just noticed this.
No, I
like
did it that
so-
way. I did it that way on purpose.
I agree.
If-
I like it.
If you actually count up the placements, if you say first pick is 1, second place is 2. If you add up the math correctly, it is as even as you can get because there is 3 rounds. If we just did a snake draft, Landslide would get 2 first picks. So I staggered it in a way where Landslide would have to pick
Well, Landslide
first,
wouldn't it?
last, and in the middle. Everyone gets a chance to pick first, last, in the middle. With the way the order is set for each round. You're going to notice that you're either in the top 2, the middle 2, or the bottom 2, at least once for each round.
Alright. I'll just
I'm just glad that I'm
All
not.
right, I'm just gonna accept it because you
Yeah.
somehow
It
made
makes
this. All right, I'm just kidding. We're good.
fine, let's
Let's
get
do
this
it.
first
I'm
pick.
ready. First pick, baby.
All
Let's
right.
go.
First pick,
you have to announce
Landslide.
it. You have to announce it.
Hi. Uh,
Hi.
so, I was really narrowing it down to 2 people and wondering for the most
Who are
part
these
what
2
the
individuals?
well I'm gonna keep the other one in my back pocket, but I think this player, I think he's gonna do well.
That's a dude.
It is.
He.
He?
Yeah.
He?
Yes, he. I think he's gonna do well. I think he I don't see any case that he really gets like screwed in a swap or anything like that. I think he's gonna be I think he's gonna be very like socially ingratiated with wherever he goes. It's Ricard.
Fuck!
Oh no!
Who's
No!
that?
No! I like Ricard.
Oh my
Carson's
God.
I didn't
taking
even
the
put him on my
gays
list.
first.
It's a good
It's-
pick, but it's a
it is a
risky
good pick.
It's a risky pick though.
It's alright.
It's a good
I
pick.
like God. I like
All
him
right.
so much.
I like him.
Gray haired
Yeah, we should
fuck.
probably talk about them, right? After they pick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Let's
Yeah.
talk. Let's talk
So-
about
Imagine
Ricard.
being gray when you're
He's
31.
got gray hair. He's from. Wow.
He's gay.
Yeah, so he's apparently gay. He's hard of hearing, but
Apparently.
I don't know. No,
Isn't he deaf?
in one
He's hard of
ear.
hearing.
Yes.
Hard of
One
hearing.
ear.
Yeah.
But just based off of looking at him, he doesn't look like the stereotype. So I think that's I don't know. I think that lends
What's
pretty
the
cool.
stereotype, Chris?
I'm
yeah,
not.
you.
Yeah.
We
What do
have
all,
to-
you
we have to go there.
what do all of us gays look like?
Yeah.
Chris? What? Is he
always
not
most
walking around with
racist.
limp wrists and talking at the lisp the whole time?
That's not what I'm saying.
That's whatever.
He's basically one of the girls, right, Chris?
Nope, that is
What are
not
the
what I'm saying.
girls?
That is not what I'm saying.
You know, he's gonna have like close alliances, people to bond with being with the girls.
Oh
On his
gosh.
tribe, he's gonna have a good Final Four deal with the females on his tribe going forward, and I think he has a good chance of winning the game.
All right.
Let's go.
So any other thoughts on Ricard, the flight attendant?
He's like
Who's
gay
deaf
Andy
in
Savage.
one ear, and
He's a
gray
gay
hair.
Andrew Savage. He seems
Right.
like a low-key
It's
physical
only
package.
take an hour.
Yeah, he said he wanted to be a beast at the merge and like how he wants
Yes,
to
he did say
lead
that.
and stuff.
He
and,
seems
And I
like
can see
somebody who like he can get by through the pre-merge just
Mm.
based on his like physical attributes, but he's not gonna be like the biggest guy there at merge. You know, they're not gonna
Mhm.
immediately look at him as a threat. So I think
Yeah.
he can swing by a couple rounds and then
Like
you know
he
win some
has a-
challenges at the end.
He has a little bit of muscle, but he's not like hulking.
Historically, flight attendants have done pretty well in Survivor 2. You have Tina, Todd Herzog, and T-Bird. They were all flight attendants, and they all made it really far. I think that job is one where you like especially have to kind of connect with people
Interesting.
in a very short time frame.
T-Bird
Okay.
lost on the ballot.
All right. So that is our first pick on the board now. Tim,
All right, other guy with
who
gray
are
hair.
you gonna pick with your first pick?
like walking up to him. With the second pick of the 2021, I guess like Elite Chris 35 Survive 41 draft.
Mm-hmm.
Tim Slex, Danny McRae.
I knew it. I knew you were gonna get Danny, and I'm so
Color me
glad.
surprise.
Yeah.
I'm so happy. Let's go.
I'm so
Oh,
happy.
Drag that. Oh,
So happy. I'm so happy.
okay. He doesn't want to. All right. There we go. So Tim selects Danny. So thoughts on Danny?
I hope you're gonna. Like, we had John Hennigan, I think, like JP mentioned before, on 37, and the way he tried to change like the stereotype of like the big hulking guy, and the way he's talked preseason, the way he got a confessional, and he seems pretty intelligent from all I've seen,
Yeah.
and like more of a human than just like the NFL buff guy.
Yep.
Like a deep mid merge. I don't think he's gonna win necessarily.
Why'd you pick?
I
him?
because
Aren't we picking
it's about
the winner?
it's about consistency. It's about like getting far. That's like what numbers are about. And I think he's just gonna. I think he's gonna change the stereotype. I think there's a few people in this cast who are gonna like who fill that role like the dumb big guy more. I think he's gonna bring something different.
Also, I just want to slide in there. We'll probably at the end of the season revisit this draft, and whoever has the highest average placement out of their 3 players amongst the 6 of us, will just say won the draft.
It's a
So
return for season 9. Yes, you got that right.
Whoever gets the lowest point has to eat a ham, mayo, and
ham,
chip sandwich
ham
on
mayonnaise chip sandwich.
So down. I'm picking Evie.
Similar's about to-
Simor wants to lose. Simor, yeah,
I'm
making
picking
I'm gonna
Evie.
take Evie.
I want another sandwich.
But yeah, no, I like Danny because I like his mentality of like, let's change what a threat is. Like, what is that mentality? Let's start looking at the people like Todd Herzog who are like very mental over the physical threats in the game. We should start looking at the Christians of the game and try to vote them out. My only concern for him is, are people ready for that kind of change of perception in this new era of Survivor? So yeah.
Right.
So I'm
look
up
whose
next.
turn it is.
It is my turn. with the 3rd overall pick of the Survivor 41 draft. I'm so glad that you didn't pick him, Tim, because I was really scared.
Him?
It was either him or Danny that you were gonna pick in my eyes. But I liked how he presented himself in the first 2 minutes that we saw of Survivor 41. And he just seems like he will be a likable presence no matter
Get
what
your
people are
fucking
going
mouse
to...
away from there.
What, you taking Liana?
He
No, he, moron. What did you say, Leon?
His mouse is over Liana.
I know who's
Alright.
going for.
Let's go
he
Yeah.
KD.
okay.
Fuck!
Yeah, this was
I have
the
to-
other one
Yeah,
that
I
like,
think
I
it's
was
gonna be
thinking
a
about
Sinuar
taking
juice.
first.
He was my number 1 pick.
Oh
No.
god.
No, what?
He was
No,
not my
J-
number. He was not my
people
number
are
JD
one.
going
was
to-
way down
was
my
my second
my
pick.
board.
Yeah,
People are
take
gonna
my word,
underestimate
he's going
him.
pre-merge. He's going pre-merge.
No. People are gonna underestimate him as the guy that doesn't know anything because he seems like a surfer bro. But I do believe he will be strategic because people are gonna underestimate the young people.
No. This
I
is a
do-
Yes.
I
think-
completely agree with Chris. It was between Ricard or JD for me. I think Ricard barely edged it out for me, but I think JD's gonna make it far. I believe it.
Yeah, I think he seems to have a really good just kind of baseline understanding of the game. Like just reading through his bio on the wiki. I remember there was a line where he was like, "You don't have to be the best at something, but you just have to be good enough at everything, and
I
that
like
will generally
that.
take you far." Like,
I like that mentality.
yeah, and he said like he described himself as like a combination of Parvati Shallow, Fabio, and Jeremy Collins. Like,
Fabio.
yeah, I don't just he seems very much like a social chameleon type of guy that can get along in any crowd.
Mm-hmm. All right. So
I didn't
that
know
is-
he was born the same year as me.
Yeah.
That fucked with me.
Jesus.
like yeah.
He does not look 20.
What does he look?
I think
I
he
think-
looks like 23 or something.
Mhm.
Here's the
Okay.
thing. I think there's someone still on the board who is actually going to fill that role instead of him.
Really?
That's fair.
Okay. So we've drafted 3 dudes so far. Sinuar, will you
Listen up.
change the tides? Will you
Evie,
draft the
Evie.
female?
Well, we know that-
Non-binary queen. Come on.
We know a female's gonna get drafted after Sinuar, so
Yeah.
Listen,
Hey.
Here-
Hey, gang, fuck you.
I've been waiting, and I'm glad no one picked this individual. I'm not going to say she
I
or
picked
he.
JD.
Here's what I think. I think this individual, he reminds me of some of the more strategic...
He?
he,
Fuck! It's David.
Who is it?
I picked David.
Voce.
What?
ooh,
Voce.
I like
I
it.
think
I like
I
it.
think
I like it.
personally for me, I think it was in one of his interviews that he was talking about he wants to fit more of the villainous role. I fuck with that, and I don't know if he's actually gonna win, but I think he has more of a strategic mindset than more of the other people on the cast. I think he could potentially go far in the game.
Yeah, he definitely.
Oh, you
Oh, go ahead.
No,
Oh,
I insist.
okay, I was just gonna say he will be the. In his interview, he said, "I'll be the first one to take my scalpel and backstab someone." So, and he says loyalty has no place in this game. So he's ready to play the villain role and backstab people. I just don't know if people are gonna view him as trustworthy in the first place to get in alliance with him because they might say, "Oh, he's a doctor. He's got a lot of smarts up there. We can't really trust him because he could be plotting our demise like at any moment."
He comes
It's
off
like
to me.
Joaquin, right?
Yeah, that's someone. No, I was gonna say he reminds me a lot of Joaquin, like just the kind of look in his eye.
Yeah.
Right, like it seems like he's gonna like do something to you.
I don't. I get. He was. I think I had him third from last on my list.
Yeah.
I'm questioning this pick a lot.
Yeah.
This is like your classic.
This is my I'm going for my wild card pick right away.
Okay.
He
All
wants
right.
his
Look,
sandwich.
I respect it.
I want
like
the sandwich.
I feel like David
Go ahead.
David comes off as like to me like inauthentic when he's talking to the camera and about himself. I think that he's gonna be like a pre-merge flame out. I feel like.
Damn.
I just get very Spencer Bledsoe-ish vibes from him. Like he's
What?
clearly. Well, no, okay, hear me out. he's a neurosurgeon, so he's clearly a very intelligent person, and he's also a big fan of the show. Like he listed a fuck ton, or I'm sorry, he listed a lot of people in his like players you're most like section, and he just got like a very kind of cocky, like he almost seems over the top in his cockiness. Like he says that his pet peeves involve people's incompetence, laziness, and lack of self awareness. Like
Oh damn.
the
Yeah.
like that's just like sounds like someone that
It
knows
sounds like
he's
you
trying to
don't
play the
get-
villain.
Right. It sounds like you don't want to get along with people.
Yeah, like he comes off to me as someone who like intentionally played up the kind of douchey persona, like going into casting, knowing that that would give him an edge over people that are trying to be more authentic.
But well, no, the thing is, I feel like he might actually be that way, because it's hard to like fake it till you make it. I feel like I feel like casting does a really good job at like sniffing that sort of stuff out. I think that's just how Voce really is. That look in his eye, yeah.
I'm not
Alright.
buying it.
Break our streak, Shipley.
No.
Sure he is.
All right, so we've
Yeah.
cast or we drafted 4 dudes.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I am
Pick him out.
yes, Queen Stan. I love my goddesses, but
No.
I am torn between 2 men right now. My heart is with the
what?
man.
Okay.
Gonna
My
get
heart is
no,
with
no,
the
no,
man.
no. Executive decision. We're getting it. No, you have to.
You had to pick a woman,
No.
kid.
Are we gonna get all 9 men as the first 9
My
men?
heart, my heart is with the man. I have plenty of queens that I think are going to do super well this season, but I am going to shock the world, and I think it would truly be ironic, poetic justice if in the season about diversity
Yeah, I know.
and struggle and
A white guy's gonna win.
a white straight male like Brad is going to win this season. Brad, I am taking Brad with my first pick. I'm getting major Terry Dietz vibes. I'm getting strong strategic male, and I just think in literally the worst year in human history, wouldn't it be funny if the season of diversity a straight white man won? So I'm thinking with my head and not my heart, and I'm going with Brad.
For the first time in history, the white men come on top.
It's their time to shine, baby. They're ready for their seat at the table. Straight white men, let's go.
Come on
All right.
now.
Thoughts on Brad, guys?
Wyoming finally got someone. Good for
Yeah,
them.
they finally got someone. I think he's going to be underestimated as just another. Wyoming's not even southern, but he's from the country, and they're going to be like, "Oh, you're a rancher. You probably don't know much." Is probably the perception that they're going to have, and he'll probably play that up. And as long as he doesn't like flop during a challenge, I don't see any reason for him to get voted out. Honestly, if
Can
they
we-
want to.
Yeah, I mean, he said that he wanted to be like Ozzy, like that was his favorite player and like his idol from Survivor is Ozzy, and he wants to play that like physical game where he's like the breadwinner of the tribe and all of that. So, I could see him, also being underestimated because I don't know if he'll quite grasp like the social politics going on, but I do see him making like a sizable run because I don't think he'll go out very early.
He doesn't give me the like out of touch vibe that a lot of the physical players do. He seems very savvy, very well spoken. And so I just feel like he is definitely not in danger of going early in the game. I think he is going to be in a great position. And I just think that there are in a fast-paced game, like I think the strategy, the old way of thinking of like let's vote out the physical guy, first merge boot. I'm betting that might change a little bit. If if some of these other players are running around and stabbing people in the back, like you might want a little bit of honesty. You might want a little
Loyalty is good.
Wyoming home cooking, and
100%.
yeah,
I agree.
No idea what that means. But okay.
There's like just something about him. I don't know if it's like the silver eyes or like the giant toothy grin, but there's just something off-putting about him to me. He just like screams crazy.
Oh.
Oh, that's
Like,
fucked up.
Look at that grin.
Drinking water.
All right, so if that's
Salty.
Brad.
Wait. Let me just say.
What were you gonna say?
Brad,
Oh no.
he reminds me of the fucking like, just a dad who casually watches Survivor.
Uh-huh.
Okay, he got into Survivor because his daughter saw Holly from
Yeah.
Nicaragua
Yeah.
Yeah.
on the show. So we watched that. He's like, "Damn, I like this game." From Nicaragua.
His introduction was Nicaragua.
Yeah.
And then he says, "Damn." Then we watched season 22, South Pacific. Bitch, it was fucking Redemption Island.
I know. He got that wrong.
He's like, "Damn, wait, this Aussie guy. Wait, I could do just what he did." He's not
gonna
going
go to pawn too.
Okay, for one, he's not winning.
Aw.
I think if anything, he's gonna fit the stereotype of an old school player.
I
If
disagree.
anything.
I think he
You
showed
think he's like
a lot of
mastermind?
No. I just think that they're putting so much emphasis on these twists and these super fans and these people that begged and begged and begged and please let me get on the show and please let me get on the show. And I
Wow.
think a good old boy who, I think someone who vibes might actually do really well in a super chaotic season because it's going to be luck based. It's going to be crazy. Shit's going to be going down. Like,
and his
I think
favorite season's South Pacific.
Yeah, I mean, and it's my
whatever.
least favorite season, so I figured yin and yang. I also just honestly think it would be like cosmically hilarious if the diversity season was won by this guy.
Hey,
So
Island of the Idols was the diversity season.
Yeah.
I
Alright,
think
well-
also,
And that was
Was it?
also won by
Oh,
a
wait, I
white
played
guy.
I could see him being like a total anti-game bot, like almost
Yeah.
like Keith Baelish, or like if he doesn't necessarily have like the kind of personality, I could see him kind of being like a Tom Laidlaw from Island of the Idols, just kind of like the older dude that is a little kooky that just kind of fades into the background and then is like unceremoniously like the fifth boot or something like
no,
that.
I'm thinking good Terry Dietz. That's what I'm going with. That's why I picked
Alright.
You
him.
don't think Terry
Alright.
Dietz is
Alright,
good?
cunt. Okay, no, we can't have this
Alright.
right now.
All right, let's move on to the next pick. To round
Oh,
out
boy.
round one of the draft, we have
JP
JP.
Gooney.
You're on the clock.
Well, there's only this is tough. There's only 4 men left for me to pick from.
Yeah.
This is bad.
We're all
dude.
getting
This is not
canceled.
good.
We're getting canceled.
This is like not good. We're past funny right now.
All right, go ahead. Go cast Genie.
Well, so looking at the other players, I have 2 picks that I'm kind of torn between. One's the funny pick, and one is the serious pick. So I think I'm gonna go with the serious pick for round 1, and I'm gonna take Xander to like round out our round 1.
Ugh, I
Xander.
really don't like that pick.
I like
Really?
Xander because
think he's the
he
best
likes
Jay.
Jay. from
Xander is like at best case a J for Millennials versus Gen X, and
I
at
fucking
worst
love
case,
Jay.
At worst case, he's gonna
Well,
say
he-
something like unintentionally racist or sexist to think it's funny. and
What?
I
then
never
he's
said
out for it.
anything like that.
I said at worst case.
Using
I said at
what?
worst case.
How do you get that from just looking at him?
That's
He looks like
he
a
has a
straight
really
white
bad
male.
guess,
he's like
but,
a Jack. He's like a Jack from
Hey.
Island of the Idols.
What?
he.
Are you
Jack
talking about
was
me?
a nice guy.
I was a nice guy.
Yeah, how's Jamal doing?
Pretty good. Yeah, I'm off to I'm off in college right now, so he's taking down the fort right now.
He's
taking
gonna say
care-
like, "I'm from the
taking
mean
care of
streets of
Elizabeth.
Chicago," and then someone's gonna be like, "Where?" And he's gonna be like, "Oh, this super nice gated suburban community or whatever." And that's literally like the vibe I get from him.
Well, Danny
know.
will be our PH test. He outright said like that he plans the most to be like Jay for Millennials Gen X. So it's kind of funny that you made that connection. But he I could see him doing well. I could see him being off-putting. Reading his bio, he almost comes across as like almost like a fucking Reddit comment. Like it's like, what's something about you people wouldn't know, like looking at you, and he's like, I like talking about the intelligent things that some people might not. Like, oh god, he just kind of goes on about a lot of stuff, but I think that the kind of pseudo intelligence is at least backed up by like a slight amount of like real intelligence, and I think
So he's presumptuous, is what you're saying?
not presumptuous. I just feel like between like just kind of the way that he presents himself, I feel like he does have a certain sense of savviness to him, and I feel like I could see him going kind of far, especially given that he is with someone else on his tribe. I believe Liana is also 20 years
20.
old. Like
Yep.
he's not going to be the youngest person there by a mile. He has at least someone else that's his age compared to like the kind of relatively older rest of the cast. The rest
Yeah.
of the tribe.
So here in my notes, I have one thing written in all caps. It's deep voice. He had a really deep voice, and I think that's also going to help him a little bit because, kind of like how Michael Yerger from Ghost Island, everyone like saw him as like this manly man. Why is this so funny? Why is this so funny?
After what
people
I
saw
said,
that-
this is weak.
People saw him as a manly man. Now people see his cock and balls.
Oh no! No! Oh.
Close your ear holes,
But-
children.
Close your ears,
And
kids.
Burdock Stefan. No, but like I found the quote on his bio that like is the kind of like very kind of like Reddit-ish one is I could spend hours discussing the genius of Richard Serra's commission for the NYC IRS building or how
Ew.
Mandarin enables the mind to
Yeah,
think more
wait,
creatively.
why is
or
this
the,
your-
Why is this your first pick?
This is your defense.
Yeah. It's
No, this
What?
isn't the defense. I just think it's funny.
Yeah,
I
no,
hate
thank
this
you.
pick. I
No,
hate this
thank you.
pick more than the Voch pick now, honestly.
Look, I was going to
I'm leaving better
defend
people
this.
for you then.
I was about to
I know.
defend this and say he presents himself as a more mature version
Yeah, no,
because of his
I'm
young
saying-
age. But
I just thought that part of him was funny. I've given my defense for him before
All right.
already.
yep, let's just move on. Let's
Yeah,
move
I
on to
think we
round
need
two,
to move
right?
on.
Let's move on to round two. What? What's so funny, Tim?
I just want to Real Survivor Beauty. Look what I posted in general.
Oh, let me see.
Oh no.
Should I not switch out on my computer?
No, you should.
Should I?
Yeah, you should.
All right.
You should cut this from the podcast, that's for sure.
Oh, okay. All right, let's take a look.
Female
Leaf.
There's 10 upvotes.
I like how we just started talking. I like how Michael Yerger came up and you just immediately went on the Survivor gay porn subreddit.
Oh gosh, this isn't real.
Alright, anyway, let's continue with the
All right.
draft.
All right, and we're back with round. We're back with round 2 of the Survivor 41 draft, and the order for round 2 is Sinuar, myself, JP, Kid, Tim, then Landslide. So, Sinuar, why don't you give us your second pick of the Survivor 41 draft? Better be a man.
Okay.
Uh,
So, while you guys were talking about Xander,
Xander.
last pick, I've been trying to figure out who from my top picks I would want to take, because this is my last pick technically. 'Cause I get
yeah.
the scraps.
You get the scraps in round
Yeah.
3.
Sure, yeah.
yeah.
So this is an important pick for me if I want to win this and eat that sandwich.
No, the loser.
I think the loser eats the sandwich, Sinuar.
Okay. Well, you could picture it any other way.
He's winning in his way.
I am.
He's eating.
It's his victory.
Okay, so I really don't know how this individual is gonna do. I've been looking at her profile
Her?
on the Wikia.
Hurt?
I am okay. You guys all better pick girls. It's gonna be funny as fuck. If we just all pick girls next. This female is Erica.
Erica. No! I
had
wanted her!
in dead- I had her in
She's-
dead last.
No.
She's my Filipina Canadian queen.
She is a Canadian that is like a big fan of the show. I think that's a fine pick. She's at the right age to win too. She's
I was
31.
looking at
That's
the
wrong.
Canadians
sorry,
that
that's-
were on the cast. Isn't there only like 2 female Canadians and the other one is a no that's not Evie. I thought Evie was one of the sexist ones. Who's the other one?
I didn't know there was another one.
There's a
not
second
another.
Canadian.
There's a second
Right.
Canadian. Yes, there is. I have it here in my notes. Hold up. It is.
Well, maybe it was picked already.
There's a couple people from DC. It's Shan. She's from British Columbia, I think.
Yeah.
No, wait, she's
Oh,
from
yeah,
DC.
yeah.
Never mind. I'm a dumbass.
No, Chantal's from British Columbia.
Yeah.
Oh,
She
is
did say this, yeah.
Wait, why the fuck does it? I looked at this earlier. Why the fuck does it say she's from
I have no idea.
Washington.
She's from Canada.
Maybe that was her hometown.
Yeah,
Oh,
my
yeah,
hometown.
she
birthplace?
moved-
her hometown's Toronto, Canada. Her current
She
residence
moved
is
to
Washington D.C. Yeah.
Okay.
Her hometown's Barrie.
But yeah, I'm glad that you picked Erica. A little sad because I was thinking about drafting her, but she's
But not
literally
first.
she's 5 foot. She's like the shortest one on the cast, typical Filipinos. And
believe.
she says she has no outdoor skills other than being a good vibe at camp. And she's not going to kill the chicken. My hope for her is hopefully she isn't going to be another Asian woman that we don't get to see a lot of until her boot episode, because that's what they've done with like a lot of Asian women on Survivor that go out early. They don't really get screen time, and then you get Lucy Huang out of nowhere being Tiger Mom and then get booted. Or you get Simone Nugent talking about aqua dumps and then getting booted.
Nugent.
Here's what I think. Part of my reasoning is moving on over to Big Brother. The women's they're fucking morons on US.
Oh,
Right.
Most of them. A lot of them are fucking brain dead. And when you go to Canada, you're smart as a fucking 5 head plays.
okay.
When you look at it in Canada, you know, it's just facts. The Canadians are smarter than Americans.
Okay.
And
Right.
I think she has the knowledge based on I was looking at her who she would play most like. Brenda on the outside, Todd underneath. So she can kind of I think that she knows from people's faults, as in like Brenda, why she lost, and know how to fix it with you saying like Todd underneath. He's a strategic person, smart, whatnot. So I think she's well-minded and enough to have the potential of winning in the end, which I've never seen someone like her win in the end. I don't think anyone has.
She just wants to be a good vibe at camp, and if I know anything about Filipino hospitality, we tend to
relax.
be very meek. We are very respectful towards other people, very nice. And if she just plays that up, I think she has a shot at making it
But
far.
that's
But if
the
she
problem.
if she can't
That's
chop a
also
chicken's
the
head off,
problem.
though, that's also a problem.
Like that whole thing that you described is also the problem. Like, I mean, I definitely see like a scenario, and maybe the game has changed so much this season that this isn't the case. But like, my issue with Erica is that I definitely see a situation where like she fucks up the first challenge, she like gets mad at something, someone says at camp, and then she's quiet and a little bit stubborn, and she gets sent home first. That's my concern.
Like
I
a
can see
So
that.
Kim even.
Yeah,
I think
like
oh,
well,
good.
no, not like a So Kim, but like like a chicken almost.
I think she seems like she's nice enough to kind of
I
stay in the
agree with
right mind with people.
I agree with Kid. Like, I think the first few days are going to be very crucial for her and how she like ingratiates within her tribe. She is, the shortest person on the cast. She's not like somebody who's going to really be able to help your tribe out with like physical
Challenges.
strength, type of challenges. So I think, if she can manage to wiggle by like a few rounds, I think she'll be really good. In a really good spot. But it's those first couple days that are really dodgy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the best thing saving her is that she's on the tribe that I don't think is going to lose a single.
They
resource
have,
challenge.
I think they have the football player.
They have the football
Oh,
player. They fucking
didn't-
Nasir himself, who's fucking he grew up with
From
like
Sri
eating
Lanka.
rats or
He
whatever.
pooped in a hole on the
Yeah,
ground.
Basically just the modern Yeah Man.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm hoping for good things for Erica. Bring it home for the Filipinos and the Canadians. Let's move on to
Just
the
the
next.
Canadians, really, but
No, let's bring it home for the Filipinos too.
Speaking of
is it?
Filipinos,
Wait, is David Filipino?
Who?
Filipinos.
David.
Every-
No, he looks white to me.
Is he white?
He's
Shipley
Voce.
cast him just because he's white.
He's Italian.
What is Italian?
Yeah.
I'm just saying because I really never mind.
We should get to the next.
His
All
photo.
right, let's
Speaking of
take
Filipinos,
taking JP segue. Speaking of Filipinos, the next pick goes to me, and you made my job a little easier, Sinuar, because I was actually going in between Erica and this other female on the cast.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh, I want who?
What?
The one
You
you've
mean-
been talking about the whole time.
Yeah.
Okay, now that you mention it, now I'm torn between two more now.
Good.
So I'm torn between two. Oh no, I forgot Genie existed.
Oh, I thought that
Damn.
was who you were going for.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
You've been talking
Yeah.
about her the whole time.
Damn.
Someone's playing Poop Stick?
Pogo stick.
Is that what it's
That said pogo stick, my dude. Damn. Here's the thing. I'm in a predicament too with Sinuar because I need to be careful with who I pick because I'm the second to last pick, so I'm getting scraps. So this is my last good pick.
When the
I'm gonna have to
serious
cut this
take,
out.
I think you're gonna get Genie anyway if you don't pick her here.
Really?
Really?
Genie is dead last in my
Yeah.
rankings. She's
Damn.
I'll
He
save
is
my thoughts on Genie until we get
dead
to her.
Okay.
last.
All right. Okay. You know what? I am going to go with another person that they previewed in the intro of the first 2 minutes. Probably going to be a bad idea, but I truthfully believe people are going to see her as, oh, she's nice. She would never hurt a fly, and her occupation lends to that because it is Shan Smith, the pastor. People are going to
I
think
think-
that.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I think she could be a danger. I think she could be a strong player.
It's so 50-50 with her. It
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
literally
I agree.
so if someone like says the wrong thing to her, I feel like she's gonna snap and it's gonna be really bad. But I loved all of her pregame stuff. I loved her like I'm the mafia pastor, all that
Yup.
crap. Like I love it. But I'm just so worried that like she can talk a big game before she gets out there and it's not gonna translate.
I could see her being like the kind of like Victoria from Edge of Extinction. Shout out to Jerry. She could be like the young kind of female that's in a good position strategically, but doesn't make it, or she like makes it fairly far, but just is like really underrated for some reason or another.
Mhm.
She is 34, so I don't know if young applies.
Younger.
I will say I like this line stuck out to me in her bio, or not bio, her Instagram video. She says she wants to bring the authenticity into the game. So for her, I feel like that means she can serve as like a sounding board for people when they have their problems. And like, you know, I feel like most pastors would be a good good person to have as a sounding board, to just be like, hey, I'm dealing with something. I don't know if everyone agrees with that, but I'm dealing with something. How can I get through this? And then they'll just say like, I don't know, pray to God, you know, like maybe not that, but like they would say something very inspiring to like get you out of a rut. And hopefully that's something that she can bring to make people want to keep her around. Just my take.
If she is like, I don't know how to say this without coming across the wrong way, but this is a very modern cast, I would say, in terms of like orientations, ethnicities, like life backgrounds and things like that. So I am curious to see how a pastor will fare in a more modern. I highly doubt Survivor cast someone that's like, I mean, I don't know.
Backwards thinking.
Jeff heard that Sierra was anti-gay marriage, and he leaned forward.
He
So
leans forward.
Yeah, so I don't know, honestly.
If you want my take,
yeah,
if you want my take, because I come from a Catholic background, we don't typically have female pastors. And so
Yeah.
just the fact that she is a female and a pastor seems already progressive to whatever denomination she's a part of. And I feel like she probably is maybe a little bit more open-minded to different life backgrounds, because a normal pastor wouldn't say, I am like the mafia, I will pray for you on the way out, I will slit your throat if I have to. Like a very conservative pastor wouldn't say those type of things. They'd be like, that's too mean, that's not what God would intend. She seems ready to like actually, you know, get down and dirty and
she's got my rooting interest. She's going to be great for the one-liners. We're going to be quoting her all season. I just don't know how she's going to do personally.
Yeah, I think also like one point you made earlier about like them kind of casting her like they would cast a pastor for having like kind of backwards views, like how you mentioned Sierra, like say Sierra doesn't believe in gay marriage and I lean forward and all that. I think Survivor, I don't think they're necessarily past it, but I think Survivor doesn't cast for conflict between castaways as much as they used to. I
Right.
feel like Worlds Apart was kind of the pinnacle of that, and then arguably some in like Co Wrong and stuff. But I think nowadays they don't cast people just to like to the same degree that they would like uh, butt heads with the other people on their tribe.
It's
And
for the
so,
interesting stories
We'll
now,
see.
right?
We'll see.
Like the
She's
more
a huge wild
progressive.
card. She's a huge wild card. If you told me she won, and if you told me she was first boot, I would be equally not surprised.
Interesting.
Mhm.
All right. So that is my pick, Shan Smith. Next up is JP with the third pick in the second round.
Okay, well, I have um, I have a funny pick, and then I have a real pick, or I have two real picks that I'm kind of torn between. I'm confident in saying my funny pick will be in the last round, but I am torn between these two people just because they're a similar archetype. Um, but I could see either one kind of filling a similar role as the other, just for some slight differences. I think I'm going to go with Tiffany for my next pick.
Hmm.
Wow.
Wow.
She
They
kind of
previewed her.
Yeah, she comes off to me as like very energetic. Like she like outright was like in her bio, she was aware that she's very kind of excitable and that kind of thing. And
Mm-hmm.
I could equally see that energy kind of rubbing her tribe the wrong way or endearing her to them, like depending on what kind of group they are. If she reminds me almost of Kathy O'Brien from like Marquesas and All Stars, like just the kind of very excitable, like slightly middle aged woman on the tribe. But I could see her kind of becoming the tribe mom cheerleader type.
I just like her view on life because she had to deal with her mom's passing at an early age, where she says, I want to live every day like it's my last. So for me, that translates to in the game, I feel like she will make moves with intention and won't be perceived as a threat also because she's an older mom. Just my take.
I was high on Tiffany. I'm high on her. I like her. She's the super fan of super fans. Like if this is the super fan season, like she is the super fan. So I feel like that will not rub people as poorly as it has in past seasons. So I think it's a fine pick. I actually don't have many
I
criticisms of Tiffany.
If I was gonna
I
pick an old person, it would have been Tiffany.
see. I don't know. I almost see her being like Reem a little bit from Edge of Extinction, where she just immediately gets like targeted out of the gate because she's like the easier one to target out of
The thing
that
is, though,
tribe.
she's not. She also isn't the oldest person on that tribe, though. Like, Reem was the oldest one on Manu by a good margin, wasn't she? Like,
I
at least with
forget.
Tiffany, she has Eric on that tribe, who's also 50 years
He's
old.
going by Abraham, by the way, during the season for your
Oh, my
notes.
bad.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yes.
Oh
Um,
god.
no, I don't disagree, but also I think it depends on how the dynamics of that tribe play out. Like
It really does.
I
Yeah.
think the one with the difficult who's going to have a difficult time connecting, in my opinion, is Xander with his tribe. Like I think he's
I
going to be the
agree.
one
Yeah.
that's going to have trouble connecting with that tribe, in my opinion. But
Mhm. Yase is just a kind of weird tribe for me. Just because, like I mentioned before, I don't remember if this was on the air or not, but it seems like a very intelligent group of six. Like they have a neurosurgeon, two people that are in like the computer science field, and Abraham and Xander, and then Tiffany, Liana, and Evie are all like heavily involved in like academics and education. So I just think it'll be a tribe that very much kind of gets in their own head.
All right. So, with that pick, let's move on to Kid. Who was your pick for the 10th overall in the Survivor 41 draft?
so I am genuinely shocked that this person is still on the board. Uh, Spoiler alert: this is my winner pick, like my genuine winner pick.
Okay.
I think this person has the best chance to combine all of their skill sets to come out on top. I think they have everything that like checks all the boxes of a lot of the recent winners of this season. And I think they would be like, based on how they're marketing the season, I think this person would be like a fantastic representative of it. So I'm gonna take Deshaun with this pick.
I totally agree with this.
Yeah, I genuinely think that like I'm shocked that he's still here. I think
Yeah.
that the age and the fact that his major life experiences have been through education might be, a question mark coming in, but just everything I fell in love like just from all the preseason stuff, and he just reeks of winner to me. Like he checks all the boxes, so I'm happy he's still here.
Yeah, I can see that. Granted, I haven't seen like the interviews, like the straight up like video interviews, so I don't really know how he comes across in speaking. But he like just through reading his bio, he seems like a very likable person. Like just like even looking at him, he just seems like the kind of person you would want to gravitate to.
Mhm. I'm thinking he's worst case like a Davy type, which is just like, I mean, to get that in the middle of the second round, I think
That's
is
pretty
great.
good.
Great,
Yeah.
yeah. So
He says he's gonna play a social game. I just want to see him prove it at this point.
yeah, I mean, it's a lot of talk. It's a lot of social game fluff from him, but I buy it. I'm
Gotcha.
sold.
He seems like a very like real person, like
Mhm.
easy to get along with, down to earth, stuff like that. I
Mhm.
think that he's going to be able to connect with his tribe very, very well. I could see him making it very deep. Yeah, I would have easily have taken it if he had fallen to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He does
Well-
remind me a lot of like people that like I just hang out with like on my campus. Like just kind of that like just like that kind of overall this kind of charisma.
Okay.
Like he just feels like a friendly person.
Okay. So next up on the draft is Tim. Who are you gonna pick with the 11th pick?
Right, with the 11th pick of the Survivor 41 draft, Team Tim selects Heather.
Ooh,
Yeah, she was the
stay-at-home
other
mom.
one.
So here's why.
You guys are like the same age.
Yeah, basically. Look the same
She's
too.
52 for the viewers.
Yeah.
It's just him.
I think if there's any old person to do it, it's Heather. I think we saw it work, and I think this is the person I'm going to compare most to with Lisa Welchel in Philippines. I feel like she's going to do something like that again. She came very relatable. Like I don't know. I just don't see her going early, but I see her also being very invested in the modern game. And I don't know. I just think she has the best shot of winning from like all the old people.
I think what works against her though is on her tribe she has a solid 15 years on the next oldest person. Like she is the oldest person on Luvu by a mile. I could see her kind of being like if they like are all like, oh, we love each other so much. If they lose the first challenge or something by some grace of God, then I could see her just kind of being the de facto like, well, she is
She's
the
the old
oldest.
one.
But with how many of those people on that tribe seem to like really want to try hard the game, I really don't see her
Yeah.
going first.
Yeah, and there's like an old soul to that tribe as well. Like Danny
Yeah.
McRae is a NFL player. Like that's he's had some hardships in his life. Deshaun's had some hardships in his life. Erica has. Like really, Sydney is the only person that's kind of had this like
She's had a good life.
better privileged life. Exactly. So I think this is an aged tribe. I think it's a wise tribe. It's a lot of well-educated communicators. Like not your traditional like college rich kids. Like these are people that have been through some shit. So I like Heather's position better than a Tiffany, honestly, or a Jeannie as like comparisons. But yeah, Tim, I like the pick. I like the Lisa comp as well. That's a deep cut.
Yeah, I like the reason I kind of picked her or Tiffany over her too is just like working against her is like she even outright describes herself as a Lisa Welch. So like when there's a mom, like someone who's like kind of not whole life, but like like her job description on there is stay at home mom. Like I think it would be hard for her to separate herself from like mom mode, like and just kind of fall into the role as kind of like a maternal figure on that tribe. I don't know, like if she says that being a mom is the hardest job on the planet, I'm turning off the TV.
All right, so let's get back onto Heather. Heather,
I had her dead last in my draft picks. I'll be honest. I don't think she's very cut out for this game. I don't think
Yeah, I
she's
don't
gonna
think
do very well.
I'm with Landslide's opinion just because like I do feel like she would be the one that people are like, oh, she's the stay-at-home mom. Let's vote her out because she's old.
Well, she got
Yeah,
up off the
exactly.
couch, Chris. She got up off the couch and she's gonna do this.
She
My
got up
bad.
off the couch.
My
She
bad.
crossed the balance beam.
Listen, I
All
know you
right.
want to pick Genie instead. I think you're dead wrong about it. I'll talk about it when we get to her.
All right. Landslide, you have the next pick.
So
Round out round 2.
yeah, I mean, this is interesting because a lot of these people I wasn't expecting to still be on the board, to be completely honest.
So you have
Um,
people that you like.
Yeah, absolutely. I do have somebody higher than this player on my list, but I think I'm gonna call an audible and go for the riskier pick. Uh, I'm actually gonna go the opposite direction of what you guys were talking about last round. I think Sydney is very cut out for Survivor.
No,
She's
no,
a
no,
lot
no,
su-
no.
She's super smart. She has the looks, like she can woo people over. She's charming. I think she can do very well in this game. I really do, and I think that somebody like Heather or even Erica could go before her on the tribe, giving her a little bit of a buffer to ingratiate herself. I think, that tribe probably isn't going to lose very many challenges either. I could see her making that deep run, being cutthroat, being a very smart, intelligent player.
Here's
Here-
my thing.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Here's my
please.
thing. I don't deny that she can be cutthroat and she could be a villain. It's just that I don't know if she will actually be able to relate to people socially on like a personal level because she says, yeah, I'm a confident law student. I think she personally has a really huge ego because she says her parents
Oh,
nursed
100%.
this ego. I'm sexy. I'm so dynamic. I can go anywhere. I just feel like, and she says Russell Hantz is one of her favorite players because he owns that he's an asshole. And it's just like, to me, it just says, yeah, you can play really cutthroat, but can you actually play cutthroat in a way where you're not pissing people off? Are you going to be able to form social bonds and relationships with the good life that you've lived so far? Are you going to be able to relate to people who have gone through massive hardships in their life?
Second place still gets me a lot of points here. So I just think she's gonna make that deep run. I feel it. I don't know.
Here's my concern. This is my only red flag. She described herself in her Instagram video as wacky and weird. That instantly gives me like Simone vibes. Like I'm just worried. Like if you're like I'm the quirky chick, that typically does not translate well to like early Survivor game. And I would say she might be on the tribe that's not going to lose a challenge, and good for her. And maybe Erica rubbed someone the wrong way, first, or like people can't, people don't relate to Nasir, so like he goes, sure, maybe. But I don't know. I don't like wacky and weird. That's a big red flag to me. If you're self-described wacky weird, that's a no-go.
Well, do you
Yeah,
guys
and
think that? Here, go on.
Okay, I was just gonna say, you mentioned that she like said her favorite was Russell Hantz, but I'm like reading her bio now. She said that her favorite's or she's most like Natalie White because she was able to like nurse Russell's ego and then like basically scoot by him in the end. So I think that
She's focusing a lot on the word ego, and I think it's because she's got one, and she's probably not going to be able to help it when it comes to like lowering her ego for the game.
Well, everyone on Survivor is like a type A personality. They're all gonna have big egos too.
Sure, but I feel like she takes the cake this season.
I think she kind of fits, like what Kid was saying. She kind of seems like a Simone to me. And I from what I got from Simone from HVHVH was that she was kind of a diva as well, where she didn't really want to help her tribe that much, just with living. And I don't really think that she has the social ability to really understand where she is and what the hell she's doing. I don't think she knows she's on Survivor.
No, I think she does.
I mean, obviously, she knows she's on Survivor, but I don't think she knows what type of game she's playing. She's supposed to be playing.
I'm with you, Sinuar. I'm curious.
She's bad as hell, though.
Nice.
I'm not gonna lie, but I think
Alright.
she's gonna be kind of a bitch.
That's, yeah, low key. So that rounds out round 2. We are down to our final 6 draft picks. So the round 3 final round draft order goes Kid, JP, Landslide, Tim, then
And I get the
myself,
scraps.
and Sinuar gets the
Am I
final
back?
pick.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Kid,
I get a pick? Wait, what? Really?
yeah, you get a pick.
Oh, I get
No,
the
he
pick,
doesn't.
huh? Interesting.
Hey, you can abstain. You don't have to pick them.
No,
You
just
don't
leave.
leave the scraps.
It'll loop
I don't
back
need a
around
third
and
pick,
Carson will get
technically.
the last person.
Kid, who do you want to pick to start off round 3?
So I figured that come round 3, after seeing the draft order, I'm going to be honest. I'm shocked that Nasir is still here. I'm not going to take him with this pick, though. I think he and Deshaun fit too similar of a role, and I want to diversify my portfolio of players. I figured I was going to be taking this individual with this pick, and I have a theory about them. So I'm going to be taking Evie with this pick. I know
Oh,
she's
thank
been getting
fuck.
Damn.
a lot of preseason hate. She's like probably the most talked about, or they are probably the most talked about person coming into the season. But I was reminded of something recently. Spencer Bledsoe in his leading up to his season, he talked about how he was like a dick to Jeff Probst, and he played up this like asshole character. And so I just thought to myself, and I was like, okay, we're going into like this woke season 41 diversity quota casting and all that. If I was like, and I am gay, and like if I was like non-binary or like any of these other like descriptors, wouldn't it make sense to like play that the fuck up in preseason and casting process to ensure that you get on the season? So I'm not saying that they're doing this. I'm just saying that I could see a narrative where Evie gets out there and they're not going off about how men suck and all that. Like it's so over the top. It's so like beyond that they might actually be taking everyone for a ride right now. And if they are, look out for them on the island because they've got the experience. They're a PhD student, super smart, super intelligent, perfect age to win this game. So I get the preseason hate. I get the like knee-jerk reaction, but that's my theory, and that's why I'm an Evie fan coming into the season. I could be totally wrong.
I could definitely see that, like reading through. I'm just gonna use she,
Sure.
just because like she's okay with. She mentioned
Yeah,
like
she's
she
okay with that.
But yeah, like reading through her bio, like it definitely did seem like every answer was like what your like Republican uncle would think that like a libtard would put for an answer for this kind of thing. Like it was very like AOC is my hero in life. I don't think is he like mispronounced Budapest or whatever. Like I could definitely see that. Like I might have been a little bit off, like thinking that more about Voce than Evie, but I could definitely see your perspective from that kind of thing.
Well, what something I wanted to like bring up was, with what Kid said. She was playing up this, what was it, like an actor or whatever of
I hate
whatever
men.
she was getting hate for.
Yeah, her saying she hates men.
Yeah, but to me, I feel that it's what her personal beliefs are. She just milked it to get onto the show to bring some type of diversity within like the social aspect.
By the
But
way,
I
go.
I think what it comes down to is she gonna keep her personal beliefs out of the game, and is it gonna cost her in the long run? So I personally, for me, I'm more interested in seeing how she's gonna handle being with men, and yeah, I'm just very interested to see what's gonna happen. I don't think that she's gonna do well, but yeah.
Yeah, by the way, she does say, even though she says, I hate men in her bio, it actually does say, I hate men. Well, not all men. The answer continues on to be like about men that are like chauvinistic and are just arrogant. Those are the type of people that she doesn't get along with. So she doesn't actually say she hates all men, but it just got a reaction from people when that's how she opens up her pet peeves list on her
Good thing
bio.
none of us are arrogant.
I just could very. Well, I want to. Tim, what are your thoughts on Evie? Before I wrap it up.
Can I abstain?
Sure, if you want. I would
That
love
makes
to.
me more.
I would love to know what you're. I would love. Do you think it's an act? Do you think it's not an act? Do you like her? Do you think she's cashing in on like people's genuine problems or?
Act, and I think that's the biggest issue.
Okay.
I think. Look, of course, everyone has that. Like we're modern, right? Look at us in the core here. Like there's 6 different personalities, very different. But it's all about trying to keep that to yourself. And with the way how eccentric she said, okay, they said they were okay with being referred to as she, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, she says she's using she/they pronouns.
Okay. I just think she is incapable and is going to make it a point to push those beliefs forward game-wise. And 1, it's going to upset a lot of people. And 2, I think it's going to be terrible for a game. And I also just don't like... I don't know. I just don't like the way she carries herself, I guess. I don't know how to say it. I just don't...
I think we'll know a lot.
Kid, can you get the mic a little
Oh.
away from your mouth?
Sorry. I think we'll know a lot. Is that better?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you sound like Abby if she was on a podcast.
I think we'll know a lot after the first episode.
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
Evan.
I think it's super
Because
50-50. Like I could see it
everything has
going either way.
Everything has been preseason. Literally
Yeah.
everything has been to get on the show.
And-
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, like I think her the way she comes off will definitely weigh on like if the show wants to keep going down the kind of preachy path they did, where in Island of the Idols, where every episode is like a social learning experience or whatever. I could definitely see them milking Evie in that scenario.
Yeah, but I mean, you gotta admit that Island of the Idols, like just as a season, they
Oh yeah,
they
I
needed
know.
to do a lot of things to cover their ass. So of
Yeah, they were
course they're
basically in
gonna
like
go. Yeah,
I know
of
that,
course
but-
they're
So with the
gonna hype.
season, right? We have a super diverse cast, but are they actually going to make it about the people instead of just shoving it down our throat that it's a diverse cast and that it's just like... Because if they're just going to keep saying like, well, it's all these diverse people instead of just focusing on the people, I imagine they're also going to focus in on like, well, I'm non-binary and this and that, and like I'm very like distasteful towards certain men, I guess. I feel like they would. That's my concern with Evie, especially. I feel like they're going to focus on the wrong things with her. Like maybe even Jeff asks one of his patented really bad questions to her at Tribal and it's gonna fuck her over. I don't know. I think there's a lot of room for something really bad to happen with that.
Okay. So let's move on. I think we've said all that we had to say about Evie. Very mixed opinions.
My team's looking good, by the way. I'm locked in. That's it. No more kid picks. We're looking
It's
good.
terrible.
So let's move on to the next pick. JP, you get the next pick.
Well, last round, I said I'm saving my funny pick because I know they're still going to be around. And I was right. I'm taking Abraham for the last spot on my team.
No.
Eric Abraham.
This is not for a game perspective at all. I just fucking love this guy. I like his whole like bio is just great. Like every word just seems so deliberate. Like he comes across as the kind of person that does not mince words at all. Like he's like for his hobbies, he says, "I enjoy examining the surface of the moon. Stars are passing comments with my own telescope."
Why do I feel like you only drafted people that you saw your own personality
No comment. But I just fucking love this guy so much. Like I know this. He's probably not going to do super hot in the game. He's probably going to be like the second juror or something like that. But
No.
No, I think he's pre-merge.
Yeah, I think he's my #1 contender for first boot. Yeah, dead serious.
Like if he talks like that in his bio, he's gonna be viewed as so eccentric and old. Like, is he okay?
Yeah, and then he's on a tribe with like Evie, and who says it's like, chauvinistic men, and she's gonna have a. I could hear the confessional right now.
Oh my god, that
I'm
Abraham
so tired
guy.
of this. Yeah, I'm so tired of
it.
mansplaining. I'm so
man-
tired of the mansplaining. It's ridiculous. And he's gonna be like, "Hey, youngster, move that log over there. We need to create a perfect surface tension for the shelter."
I have been very clear in saying I do not think he's going to do well. I picked him because he's my funny pick, and I think I'm going to love him this season.
Can we comment on the overall draft?
Quickly.
JP, you've picked 3 people from the weakest tribe.
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
Fucked.
I want that fucking sandwich.
Oh gosh.
Hell yeah.
Oh gosh. All right. So that rounds out JP's draft. Next, we are going to round out Landslide's draft. Who is
Yeah.
your final pick? On the board left is Jeannie, Sarah, Liana, or Nasir.
While I do think Sarah has the capability of going deep in the game, she is very kind of similar archetype to Sydney in a sense. So I'm thrilled that he's still on the board. I'm taking Nasir. Like, let's go.
Oh, you are taking the
100%.
final guy.
Yeah, I mean, this guy's from Sri Lanka. Like, what? Like, he is guy. Foreign
He pooped
people,
in a
like,
hole for his childhood.
Guys, he pooped in a hole. Come on. No, but I really like this guy. You know, time and time again, people like Ty, like Yao Man, they do really well in these games. Like I could see a serious case of people liking this guy's personality, liking the fact that he's not afraid to like be who he is. You know, he put down that his favorite survivor was Philip Shepard. Like I love this. Like, he's wholesome. You know, he's gonna be a hard worker. Like, I think he will rub off well on the other people there. And I think that, you know, people are gonna underestimate him.
I am just a little worried for him in that he doesn't want to bring up his third world Sri Lankan upbringing to people because he is scared that that would prove as like that's a story that he can tell at the final tribal council and people would want to vote for him in the end. So what is Nasir going to be able to talk about in terms of like getting up close and personal and building those social relationships with people if he can't talk about his childhood and upbringing? Is he going to lie about it? Is he going to be compelling enough to his tribe mates when he starts talking about himself that they want to keep him around, or are they going to be like, oh, he's hiding something, you know?
I can see it. I think he's still gonna go early, but I can see it. I think he'd be like likable, but like last pre-merge or something. I don't know.
I think he's gonna be the stock person like that they have every season. He just like hates like someone that's lazy on their tribe and just like has a total like vendetta against them. Like his whole thing is talking about how he got to where he is because of like his hard work and his family's hard work helping bring him to the United States and the American dream, blah 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 blah. So I think like the moment that someone doesn't like a Sydney doesn't start carrying their weight, he's just gonna go off on them.
Yep.
It's definitely like a best case scenario Tai Trang situation, I feel. The question for him is like, is he going to be able to like present his game in a relatable way to like a jury? I actually think he's gonna go really far. I'm just curious if like he can seal the deal. Like we saw Ty like really struggle to like articulate his game in a final tribal council. And I see a lot of similarities in Nasir, who's not like a native speaker of the language.
He learned English through Survivor.
Yeah. Like much of the game is like giving that like, you know, class president speech at the end of the season, you know, and I actually
wrote in my notes, I'm worried that his language barrier will serve as a cultural barrier when he's trying to communicate with other people, and you need that for Final Tribal.
I did pretty good in Caribbean.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying, like, he learned English late in his life, and he learned it through Survivor. Is that enough for him to connect with people?
I think it's endearing. I think it's actually kind of endearing when you have like someone trying to be like.
You know, he's a sales manager.
I agree.
He's a sales manager in California. Like, I'm sure he's, you know, had that, like, you know, whole worldview changed already and kind of already picked up on that stuff. I could see him ingratiating himself with people. You know, he is a naturally, I feel like, wholesome person.
Yeah. I think him and Brad will be in the running if they both make it deep for, like, a fan favorite type thing. Like Keith.
Gotcha. All right. So we got 3 picks left. Tim, who do you want to round out your team on the draft?
I'm thrilled that this person is still here. I think it's a sleeper pick, right?
Uh-huh.
Picking Lyanna.
Oh, wow.
All right. I think it's Leon. Is it Liana?
Lyanna, I don't know. It's 6:45 in the morning. Um, I don't know. It's just like either she turns out to be just like Julia from Edge of Extinction, where it's like, okay, that's fine. That's still like a pretty high placement. She seemed really passionate about like wanting to be there. Like she's obviously a big fan of the game. She did like this whole. She was the one that did like a speech, for one of the big senators or whatever, like a poetry.
Spoken word.
Yeah, spoken word. I don't whatever. And then she explicitly talks about wanting to find an idol, which wasn't in a lot of other people's, uh, like pre-game thing, which
Mhm.
makes me think that they're highlighting that for some reason. Which you know that instantly means that she probably does something.
Mhm.
Or maybe that's just me looking too much into it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
you might be.
I think it's I don't see why she's still up there. I think it's really
Mhm.
at worst this is like a late pre-merge, early merge. I think.
Mhm. I think it's interesting that she wants to lead with authenticity, she says, and make people think she doesn't have her guard up because she wants to be free. Like this is the exact opposite of what's going to happen with Nasir, where Nasir's going to hold back information. Liana wants to share her entire story with people and make it disarming to people that like, oh, if she's sharing everything about herself, then she isn't playing the game that hard because she's not keeping information away from us and I can trust her. So I do think she is kind of a sleeper pick and could do some damage in this game.
I know I kind of said this about Xander too, but it just messed with me seeing her birthday. She's only 5 days older than I am, and just seeing people on Survivor that close to my age just messes with me now. Sorry, that's unrelated, but that's just something I wanted to say about her.
All right. Anything else about Liana?
I did say like in my notes that I think she's either gonna go pre-merge or make it all the way to the end as a goat. I feel like, and I think that she is very book smart and seems wholesome. But I do think she'll kind of get lost in like the sauce of the game, you know, a little bit
Lost in the
later on.
sauce.
That like people are just gonna be playing like laps around her, and she's just gonna be not sure what to do.
Mm-hmm. I
She
could see that
comes
too.
Yeah, she comes across to me as like a very socially conscious person,
Mhm.
and having her and Evie on a tribe together could possibly cause those two to like maybe bond over like both being like very kind of like aware of social issues even.
Yeah.
It just seems like something that would be very important to those two especially.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, they could definitely bond over social issues and I don't know. I mean, I don't know if they're going to be making like strides to like change people's minds about how they think about social issues, but it's definitely there.
Um,
So, yeah, that is Liana. I will pick for the next pick, the second to last pick. No matter who I pick in this draft, I'm going to have 3 people from the Green Tribe on my team.
yeah, full tribe draft. Love it.
Yeah, and Sinuar, you don't need to worry because I will be picking the one and only Jeannie Chen.
Terrible.
No.
All right, sounds good.
I like her vibe. I really like her vibe. Number one, she's Asian and she's lesbian,
Oh,
so that's
really?
pretty cool. She has I think she her full name is Jeannie Robin Chen, so that's
It was
hyphenated.
Machine.
It's yes, it's Jeannie Machini. No, but yeah, I just like how she seems like a really positive vibe, like a positive force, and I feel like people would want to keep someone like that. Hopefully she doesn't like flop too hard in the challenge where it's just like, okay, let's just vote you out, just because you screwed up the challenge really hard. But I can see her being a hard worker at camp. She says she's a hard worker in the grocery store. That's why people call her Jeannie Machini. So she probably has a work ethic. She just seems like a nice and naturally approachable and friendly lady, and I feel like she will be underestimated because people are going to say, "Oh, look at her. She is in her late 40s working in a grocery store. She's not like me, a law student, working to become like a big shot attorney, like making millions of dollars. Like they're gonna see Jeannie as just like, oh, she's just a normal person. She couldn't be that threatening. She's not as smart as me, let's say. So that's my thoughts on Jeannie.
She's going to come in 7th place. I'm saying that now.
I'm
She
cool with
very
that.
much she very much kind of reminds me of like the Christian Hubicki, Elaine Scott type of like the kind of quirky person that is like just so endearing that like people want to take them far in the game, but like don't want them to get even within like sniffing distance to the end. And so
Mm-hmm.
6th, 7th place typically tends to be when those people like will go out in like more modern seasons.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see her making merge, to be honest. I don't see
Hey!
any scenario where she makes merge.
Boo!
I do
There's
think
no
it
way.
would. I do think it. I think that the green tribe is going to be the one that's like the train wreck and the challenges, not the yellow tribe personally. But the green tribe just seems like they. I think Ua is how you pronounce it.
Mm.
It just seems like it has like the most kind of crazy combination of personalities, and I could see them either coalescing into something really good, like a Kasaya, or like a Luzon and eating shit.
I just really quick about Genie. I think you've got at best in Elaine, and Elaine was almost voted out. So like first, so I just don't see unless they win out. I disagree. I think this tribe has potential
Strong.
to be the strongest tribe. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I strongly disagree that this is going to be the train wreck tribe. I think there is zero scenario where yellow is not the is not the train wreck tribe.
Agreed.
So I could see. I think what Jeannie needs is. I think she needs like 2 immunity wins. I think green comes out. They win the first 2 immunities, and then she
And she's
swaps. Yeah, and she swaps into like a green majority on some like 2 tribe thing, and I think she's good. I think she's
Mhm.
set. She's probably like final 6.
I like that.
But
And,
if they come out and like shit the bed, she's gone. I'm sorry.
Mhm. Yeah, I could see that. But thank you very much, Tim, for telling me you want my honest opinion. Jeannie's still probably going to be here by the end of the draft because she was. And
Yeah,
I'm happy with my
see?
team. So,
I'm great drafter. I know. I know the predictions. I talked to everyone beforehand.
okay. So that
Oh, yeah.
rounds out my picks. That leaves the final pick of the entire draft to Sinuar. Sinuar, who will you be picking?
What's her name?
Oh, no.
Hold up, I'm in bed. Sarah.
Yeah. Sinuar will be
Sarah.
drafting Sarah with the 18th and final pick.
Honestly, I'm fine with that. I'm kind of.
Yeah.
I'm actually happy that you picked Jean.
You're
Oh
welcome.
yeah, she's not going far, so
Come on. No, you don't know that.
I do know this. I've worked with a grocery store clerk before. I know exactly what they're like, and they cannot handle fucking high pressure situations. So
Okay. All right, sure. Do you have any thoughts on Sarah since it's your pick?
I know she feels like she wants to be like Kim Spradlin.
Mhm.
I don't know where she's gonna go in terms of how well she's gonna play. I don't think she's not gonna win. But I do feel like she has the opportunity to go far in the game, and either it being her just being brought to the end or being close to the end, like a Kara who really didn't do anything in
Mhm.
Ghost Island, but just went far. Um, I don't really know what type of potential she does have in the season, but it's whatever.
I mean, it's not a bad last pick, but I will say this
Yeah.
is what I noticed when I listened to her bio. She is, or her Instagram video, she is the least type A personality on this cast. She is the most soft spoken, and she wants to play under the radar early. And she says she wants to be nice, but I think it's going to be at such a degree that she'll be perceived as passive the entire time that even if she makes it to the end, people are going to be like, you got lost in the sauce of the game. Like, did you really do anything because you were just quiet the whole time, but wanted to be nice with everyone and play that social game? Did you do anything other than like play the social game? Did you strategize around the advantages that might be involved in this game? So those are my thoughts on Sarah.
She's
Personally,
a-
I think
yeah.
Sarah was a steal for the end of the draft. I mean, do I think she's like the biggest winner contender? Obviously, no, I don't. But I think she has that capability of making it far, and getting third place still gets you a lot of draft points. It's not like being a goat's necessarily the worst thing in the world here for draft purposes.
Okay.
My only
True.
note on Sarah is she seems like an old school Survivor cast from like her interviews and stuff.
Mhm.
She seems like kind of a recruit. Like they saw her out at a bar, she was smiling, having fun, and they were like, "Hey, do you want to do this?" Found her on Tinder, like some of the
Yeesh.
old school recruiting ways. Like she's very bubbly and fun. She doesn't seem that like I don't know. Kim is a very easy answer if you like quickly watched a couple top 10 lists after
Him
getting
and
cast.
Parvati are like the two.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm dubious that she's gonna do well, but you never know. Maybe she fades in the background. And like someone said, for a draft, she is a steal as the last pick. I think.
Mhm.
I think you want like people who are gonna like for sure not be the first couple boots, and I think I would be pretty confident saying she's probably not going to be the first couple boots, especially on that green tribe.
One thing that did kind of stick out to me about her is like I just thought it was funny that she said that she like absolutely hates people that make crude jokes. Like that just seems like a really weird thing to get, not a weird thing, but just a like very particular thing to get hung up on. I could see like Brad,
she's literally the nice girl,
yeah, like I could just see like
the nice quiet girl.
hmm I could see
That's the
like
thing.
Brad saying something dumb and her getting mad about it or something like that.
Yeah,
Just as like
literally.
a source of drama.
I don't even know what crude means in her sense.
Like
Like
penis
yeah,
jokes or like really inappropriate jokes.
okay, but what classifies as inappropriate to her if she's like just this nice girl?
Anything.
You know? Like
Anything
I
and
don't
everything.
know how like sensitive a joke would have to be classified as crude in her books.
Right.
That's all I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm. If you want me to be honest, I don't think she'll do anything about it because she's gonna be that passive.
Yeah, I don't.
I could see her as a third place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone's like a little too nice for the game.
Mm-hmm. All right. So that rounds out our draft, everybody. Let's just go. Yeah, let's just list out where everyone is. Or you know what? No. Wait. Do you think we should list out everything for the people who aren't listening or who are listening but aren't seeing the video?
Sure.
Sure.
All right. So on each team, we got Landslide has Ricard, Sydney, and Nasir. Tim has Danny, Heather, and Liana. I have JD, Shan, and Jeannie. Sinuar has Voce, Erica, and Sarah. Kid has Brad, Deshaun, and Evie. And JP has Xander, Tiffany, and Abraham.
Yeah.
So that is the draft, everybody. I'm pretty happy with my picks. I don't know if you guys are happy with your picks.
Oh, I'm stoked.
I am thrilled with my picks.
I don't know, whatever.
I love my picks.
I'm in
definitely.
shock that I got some of the picks that I got, but
Same.
Same.
I thought Abraham was going to be first round.
I was surprised I got Jeannie. But yeah, hopefully we'll do another podcast at the end of the season where we talk about our thoughts of the season. And heck, I don't know if you guys.
We know
If you
one
guys-
thing for sure. One of us is gonna look like a massive fucking idiot with what they said.
yeah,
100%.
And we've got 3 hours of film for hot takes that are going to be proven ice fucking cold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't wait
Um,
to see like on the trivia on our wiki page, like Tim thought this person was going to win season 41, and they were the first boot.
So
EXD.
just let us know if you guys are still here listening and would enjoy maybe more podcasts like this. I don't know, maybe some interseasonal podcasts after a couple episodes or so. Totally up to you guys. And depending on how I feel of this podcast, this certain session was about 3 hours long. So I don't know, this might be broken up into two parts, or I might cut it down really, really shortly just so that we get to the good bits of the entire podcast. I don't know about you guys. I had a lot of fun doing this podcast, and yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. I'm glad. Thanks for having me.
Mm-hmm. Of course. Anyone else?
Yeah, thanks. I got an unbelievable draft. I don't understand how it got all these people, but
I am. I think
Same.
everyone is happy with their draft.
Because we're smarter than you.
all right, cunt.
The
Alright.
people I
Mom.
picked are literally in my top 4 for winner picks. Like,
Oh,
all
should
3
we
of them are in
do
my top
overall
4.
winner picks real quick, like quick fire? No
Yeah,
comments.
Yeah,
let's-
let's quick fire him.
Well, you start, Mr. Host.
Oh
Yeah.
man, I gotta think about it.
Let's
All
go.
right,
I
let's
don't-
go. Landslide, Tim, Chris,
Oh,
Sinuar.
okay.
and then
I mean,
JD.
Okay,
I picked my
Landslide.
winner pick as my first one, so Ricard.
Yeah, Ricard.
If not JD.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's Ricard then JD for me.
It's just Ricard.
Sinuar, who's your winner pick?
I'd say Sean.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm all in on Deshaun as the winner pick for sure.
Okay.
Motherfucking Eric Averett. No, I'm kidding. That's it. JD.
Genie?
No.
JD.
JD.
Oh,
I think this is gonna be the coldest take in a
Yeah.
few weeks.
I don't understand how
Yeah,
you guys
probably.
think like a 20-year-old college student will ever.
Because like
make their
Oh,
the
come
awareness he
on.
has about him is
he's pretty
so
aware.
pristine.
All right,
Yeah.
well, we'll see. I clipped it.
This is the dawn of a new era.
Shut the fuck up.
Dark horse winner pick is Sean. I think.
Yeah.
She's my first
Shan?
boot or winner.
Shan?
Yeah.
Oh,
I thought
you said this
Sean is like short for like her full
Shannon.
name, right? Shannon. Oh, it's short for Shannon. Okay.
Wait,
Yeah,
Oh, I
Shan-
thought you were
I thought it
saying
was
like this
Chantel
one.
or something like that.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
it's
Chantel.
Sean. It's Chantel. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
her. Yeah. So Sean. It's Sean.
I thought you
Chantel.
said Chantel.
I said
Well-
Sean.
My second pick is Deshaun.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, that closes out our draft and thoughts on the Survivor 41 draft. I hope you guys had a fun time listening, just as much as we had fun memeing the entire time and having a good laugh and watching Sinuar eat his mayo, chips, and ham sandwich
And bread.
and bread.
One of us
He
will be
uses
doing
the
that
end of
exact
the
same
bread.
thing. Unfortunately.
It's so
Episode
good.
4.
All right, we are off the air in 3, 2, 1.
2,
Thank you,
1.
everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Yay.